The Lake Erie Grape Discovery Center is the official visitor center for the New York State Lake Erie Concord Grape Belt Heritage Area. Supporting and promoting the grape industry, visit us and learn about grape growing history in the Lake Erie region. Shop for grapey gifts, taste local wine in a Concord vineyard. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and happy frosty Saturday morning. Boy, this was the first heavy frost out in Ripley, at least I can remember. So the weather's cooling down, but it's okay. We want to get into the feel for the holiday seasons, but not too much snow. I guess we're getting a little bit coming up this week, or a lot, I'm not sure. Have you ever watched the weather reports? They say, oh, the end of the world's coming, we're going to have 3 feet of snow, and then by the time it gets here, it's like a half an inch. So you never know how to plan, but anyways, just get ready. We got a great show in store for you today, whatever you're watching at various times of the day. I want to say good afternoon to our friends over in Jamestown at WRFA 107.9, low power to the people. We're going to be talking with you Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. So good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. And for our viewers right now, this morning, welcome to you. And we hope that you grab a cup of coffee or whatever and sit back and relax. We're going to be talking a lot about a big event coming up next Saturday, so stick around. Okay, a few things just want to chat with you. I want to welcome to the Access 5 family, Rolling Hills Radio. They will be now broadcast their shows. After they're done, they're going to send us the tape, and they're coming up on the schedule, so you'll be able to see Ken Hardley and all his guests throughout years to come. So look at the scheduling, and you'll get to see all that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. Just a few things to remind you that tonight, my one camera person, wherever she went, she disappeared. Emerald and I and the rest of the cast of the Murder on the Petulant Express will be performing our encore performance at Quincy Cellars at 6 o'clock. And it's a murder mystery dinner type thing, or hors d'oeuvres, I don't know. And so it'll be a lot of fun. And I'll be performing in the role of Franz Fassmacher, the brewmaster from Munich, Germany. And it's a whodunit kind of a thing. So that's coming up, and that's the proceeds go to the Ripley Library. We'll talk a little bit more of that. I think we have a poster on that. Okay, I just want to say hi to the folks over at LSS. Will and I were over there yesterday, and we enjoyed performing for you guys, and I always like to say hello because I know that you guys watch the show. All right, I got a lot of things to talk about this morning as far as community events, and then we'll get to our guest here shortly. So, as always, my friends over at Pulse Poetry like to torture me with alliteration, so here we go. Pulse Poetry Slam Open Mic coming up. Calling all poets and poetry lovers, the Infinity Visual and Performing Arts Center will be hosting Pulse Poetry Slam Open Mic Night on Thursday, December 7th, 6 p.m. at the Infinity Arts Cafe. Poets and audience members are welcome. Here we go. Pulse Poetry Slam events are free, family friendly, and open to the public. Here's the one that always gets me. Performance poetry is an excellent way to express creativity while practicing performance in public speaking. You have to be able to read that to be a TV host, I guess. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts Flapjack Fundraiser. I don't know if this is a new event or not. I don't remember. Infinity is having a flapjack fundraiser at Lakewood's neighborhood Applebee's, located on Fairmont Avenue. The fundraiser will take place next Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Tickets are only $6. Each ticket is good for all you can eat pancakes, bacon, and drinks. Randy, are you listening? Where are you, Randy? Take the boys, $6. Yes, he's gone. All right. All right. Santa will be joining guests for breakfast, so be sure to bring your camera. All proceeds, of course, provide music and arts instruction to area youth at the Infinity Center in downtown Jamestown. And I'll give you a little sneak preview. I believe Infinity kids are going to be here later in the month. So stay tuned. Okay, moving right along. Let's go to slide 15. On today, Saturday, December 2nd, the Lakeshore Model Railroad Association is having their second annual Christmas open house. Now, this is way cool. If you're interested in model railroads, my oldest son, he was into the various scales, N scale, H scale, O scale, I don't know, all these other things. And they are going to have their display over at their headquarters. Let me find it here. They give me more information than I need a lot of times. There it is, at the Eastminster Presbyterian Church, across from General Electric, over on Lake Road in Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, $2 per person if you bring a non-perishable food item, $3 per person without. Kids under 12 are free. So if you really like railroading, give them a check out. Okay? All right, let's move on. Breakfast with Santa over the Children's Safety Education Village. Guess what? Right now until noon, they're having this special event featuring cookie decorating, kids' crafts, pictures with characters from movie Frozen are available, pictures with Santa and friends, caroling, train rides, Christmas shopping for adults. Adults $5, kids 12 years and under, $3, and kids 2 and under are free. So anyways, that's happening as we speak over at the Children's Safety Education Village. Okay, let's go to Whoville. Christmas in Whoville. That's today. What am I going to talk about next week? All these announcements are all about today. Okay, over at Stanley Ho's Ladies Auxiliary in Sherman, New York. They're having their Christmas Bazaar starting now till 3. Story time with Elf Mary throughout the day. Photo and tree decorating contest. Evening activities for young and old. Lunch with the Grinch and Cindy Lou at the Fire Hall. The Yorkers Historical Display at the Bazaar. Breakfast with Santa at the Sherman School. This is a busy day here. Art show by local artists and Sherman Central School students somewhere along downtown. Sponsored by the Sherman Chamber of Commerce. Red bows in memory of loved ones are being sold by the Sherman Chamber of Commerce to go on the tree at the gazebo for the tree lighting ceremony that took place last night, but you still can buy the ribbons. And of course, there's going to be a tree dinner tomorrow night, Sunday, at the Fire Hall. All right, moving right along. We'll just talk about this for a second because this is going to be the most of the show. But let's bring up 18 real quick. Just to remind you that the crux of today's show is going to be all about Len. all about the home for the holidays. And my guests are going to talk about this a lot, but I want to do this right now because I just want you to hear it a couple different times. Big show coming up next Saturday over at the Reginald Center for the Arts. Okay? But we'll skip that for now. I won't talk any more about that because I don't want to steal all that thunder. Okay, moving right along. Chicken and biscuit dinner next Saturday from 4 to 7 at the Ripley United Methodist Church. Okay, you got your $7 pre-sale from any VFW member, $8 at the door, $20 for family of 4. Randy, you can take the boys and me for $20. All right, everything benefits the Ripley VFW, Post 2769. All right, this is a new slide. Oh no, we talked about this last week. That's right. We're looking for photos of Purple Heart recipients, specifically World War I, II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. My buddy Jim Kurtz is looking for pictures because he's promoting this. And if you have a picture of someone with the Purple Heart, preferably in uniform, give Jim Kurtz a call at 753-7734. All right, and he's promoting the fact that these folks do have the Purple Heart, and there's quite a few of them in our county. Okay, moving right along over to Westfield. This is next Sunday. Holiday open house at the McClurg Museum. Look at that. Beautiful banister coming down that spiral staircase and the Christmas tree all decked out there at the McClurg. A little message here from them. It says the Chautauqua County Historical Society will say goodbye to 2017 with its annual open house on Sunday, December 7th at the McClurg Museum in Westfield, right downtown, right back dab in the middle of town. The open house provides an annual opportunity for visitors to learn more about the museum and the Historical Society. It's free of charge. The day will feature music provided by the McClurg Street String Band, which is comprised of music students from Westfield Academy Central School under the direction of the acclaimed wax music director Kent Knappenberger. He's a Grammy winner, you know.
Yes, he is.
He was here at our studio one time. I got to carry his award. I couldn't touch it. I could only carry it in the box. He had a paper that said this disclaimer: no one else can touch it. Guests will also get to see a new exhibit focusing on the New York 112th Infantry Regiment of the Civil War, which includes portraits of several locals who fought while serving in the regiment. Okay, there's no cost to attend. It takes place next Sunday from 2 to 4 at the McClurg, and if you want more information, give them a call at 326-2977. All right, that was page 3. Page 4. Pasta for Prevention. Okay, Pasta for Prevention is a dinner sponsored by Cassock Homemade Sauce and Meatballs. This is going to be on December 13th. Takeouts and drive-through available. Tickets are only $10. Randy, now you can have spaghetti dinner too. 5 to 7 p.m. at St. James Church Hall in Jamestown. For more information, give them a call at 664-3608. Again, spaghetti dinner, Pasta Prevention, December 13th. Then they want me to remind you on, let's see, December 20th and 21st. Okay, the World Juniors Exhibition Game presented by Doubletree by Hilton Jamestown are coming to the Northwest Arena this December. This will be the first time that the World Juniors have returned to Jamestown since 2010, when they played 3 sold-out games at the former Jamestown Savings Bank Ice Arena. Spectators can expect to see 2 days worth of world-class competition, and these teams are coming in from, where'd it go there? Slovakia and Belarus. Okay, and if anybody can get me a map quick and show me where Belarus is, I'll be happy to know that. I know where Slovakia is, but I don't know where Belarus is. Anyways, tickets are $18 and $23 for preferred seating, and if you're interested, give 484-2624 a call, and they'll tell you more about that. Okay, hockey in Jamestown. Okay, moving along. Teen Intervene. I think this is a new one. This is an important one I want to start promoting. Thursday, January 4th, in the new year, 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's all day over at Sherman Central School. Okay, what is it? Teen Intervene is an evidence-based brief intervention program for youth ages 12 to 19 suspect of experiencing mild to moderate problems associated with alcohol and other substance abuse. The program may also include the participation of teens' parents or guardians. Teen Intervene program integrates stages of change theory, motivational interviewing, and cognitive behavioral therapy to help teens reduce and ultimately eliminate their alcohol or substance abuse. Teen Intervene is included in the National Registry of Evidence-Based Programs and Practices as an evidence-based prevention program. All right, we're going to talk more about this as we go along, and I'll give you more information, but the cost is $35 participant, and if you're interested, I would recommend that you give Cassick a call or even check in with Sherman Central School. Folks, we've been talking about this issue here for the last couple of years anyways, with drugs and alcohol in the county, especially with our youth. So if this is pertinent to you, check it out. Okay, I run out of announcements. We're going to take a public service announcement, so stick around and we'll be right back.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Doc Hamels, and you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. And I want to welcome right off the bat Len Berry, who is the, let me get this, the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Reg Lene Center for the Arts.
True.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, it's all true.
Okay, and of course, my friend over here that's been on the show, and we've done some work together, Bill Ward, returning to the show. Welcome and good morning, Bill.
Thanks, good morning.
And I understand you're going to be doing some music for us this morning?
We'll see.
We'll see, we never know. Musicians are like that.
You have so many important things to say, I don't know if I can...
No, music's important. Okay, so Len, we had the opportunity to invite you guys down here. Originally, we were going to just do a little clip, but it worked out that we were able to do a full show today. So, before we do that, nobody knows Len Berry here anyways. I don't really know you very well. So who are you? Where do you come from? What do you do for a living?
I'm the Marketing and Communications Director at Reg Lene Center for the Arts. I came to Jamestown, New York, in the region 16 years ago.
Okay.
I married into Jamestown. My wife is a native.
Good.
Yeah, she's Allison, formerly Allison Peters, and came up here a couple summers, like almost 20 years ago, and spent some time here. We fell in love with the area. We were living down in Fort Lauderdale at the time, living and working, and as soon as we got married in Jamestown, and when we had our first child, our daughter Kate, a few months later, we moved up here. You
just said your daughter's name on TV. Is this going to like embarrass her, or is she go
probably?
Okay,
yeah. She'll recover, I think.
So where are you from originally?
My folks are from Brooklyn and the Bronx, and the main family's on Long Island. But I was raised in northern Kentucky.
I was going to say I would not have guessed Long Island at all.
No, I wasn't there long enough to get the dialect going there. So yeah,
Kentucky.
Mostly Kentucky.
Beautiful country.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, we lived up near the Ohio River, and we're kind of a suburb of Cincinnati.
Okay. So, since we're on Facebook together, I did kind of look over your credentials. I mean, you've been involved with theater and productions. And, so can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, how did you get involved with this whole business?
Yeah, I guess the first thing I did was a little over 30 years ago in 8th grade. I played Gandalf in a play of The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
And I was only Gandalf because
everybody
else was a Hobbit, so it was, I looked like a normal-sized human on that. So I did a high school production, and then when I went to college, I studied theater and communications, got my degree, went down to Florida, got my graduate degree, Master of Fine Arts in Theater Arts, and have been working in arts and education and whatnot for 20 years now, since 1997. Yeah, so when I came to Jamestown, hooked up with some people who were starting the Bunbury Theater Company, which is no more.
That's, don't tell me. Kraft.
Yeah,
Matt Hamilton
Kraft.
Kraft, yeah.
Yep, and a group from Potsdam University came down. Matt's a native of the area. He's from the Bemis Point.
Yeah, he was on the show here, and I've worked with him through COI over the years.
So I got in there, and about 2006, I got a job working at Arts Council for Chautauqua County, which was affiliated with Reginald Civic Center. Bill was one of the first people I worked with because I handled arts and education, scheduling and contracts and whatnot, and Bill did a lot of work with Bush Elementary School in particular with
We had some fun.
the folk
Nice.
project.
Great.
And
Who was the director then?
that was David Shine.
David Shine. I was
there.
Philip Morris, and I was trying David Shine because I knew both those guys. Yeah.
And then about 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, Arts Council merged into the Reg, and we became Reg Linné Center for the Arts, with a focus on programming, live events and movies and whatnot. So that's what we do downtown.
Fabulous, and I say this all the time. You know, I came from Buffalo originally, you know, and they're really artsy up there and all that. But I mean, Chautauqua County is just bursting with talent. I mean, and now that the theater district is starting to grow more and more, I thank you. It's just great.
No, it's very rich in talent. You say we're saturated in the arts here. There's no shortage of it. You can't throw a stone 10 feet and hit a musician or an actor. And poetry is becoming huge again. A lot of visual artists in the area.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't escape it.
Okay. All right. So today we decided we were going to talk about the event that I mentioned just a little bit earlier. What's coming up next Saturday? So kind of frame it. Where did this all come from, and whose idea was this and stuff?
Yeah, so in our third season as Reg Linné Center for the Arts, when we were putting it together, we talked with Dennis Drew, who works with us at WRFA, which is part of the Center for the Arts, and we decided to try to do a holiday concert last December, and we wanted to get as many local and regional musicians as we could in there, and across a bunch of genres, and we pulled it together. I had a really nice Saturday afternoon concert, and the feedback we got was immediate. People coming out of the theater afterwards were approaching staff and asking us to do it again. We had phone calls and emails and Facebook posts all within a few days, and it was the most immediate response, I think, of that size that we'd ever got before. So we put it on the calendar for next year. He said whatever season we do, Home for the Holidays is going to be a part of it, and we'll try to capture lightning in a bottle and have a couple of returning performers and a whole slew of new performers. And last year's performers included Kent with the Westfield, singers there. We had
Fabulous.
some high school groups. We had Celtic music, rhythm and blues, rock and roll, bluegrass, and we're doing it again next Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Terrific. Okay, so where do you want to go with this? You want to talk about who's going to be on? We got photos. I mean, we can do anything. What would you like to do?
Yeah, we could talk about who's coming up
All right,
on the
let's do
show.
that. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I have my trusty my poster here. You saw the graphic
Right.
earlier. So Dennis Drew's hosting. He's the MC for the
So
day.
he's not going to sing or play.
He might come on in the finale.
Okay.
He's done that before. Returning from last year, Steve Davis and Marla Harris.
Okay, what kind of music do they do?
Rhythm and blues, some soul classics on there. Ron Auerbach,
familiar with Ron.
Ron's he's married to our executive director Kathleen Eads, and he's a Broadway performer. He makes his home in Jamestown, but he tours the country. He's been doing tours of Chicago.
So he's a singer?
He's a singer and an actor, does film and television work, and so he last year performed the Hanukkah cantata, which was
Say that 10 times fast.
Yes, exactly.
Hanukkah cantata.
Hanukkah
I can't even do it
cantata.
twice.
And I think this year he's doing
Hanukkah
something.
cantata.
Yes, yeah, Hanukkah
Sounds like
cantata. So he's going to do an amusing Christmas tune or two,
cool, fun.
accompanied by Steve Davis. We have Jamestown High School madrigal singers.
Now, what's a madrigal?
I think madrigal is their elite, the Green Berets of of their group, because Jamestown High School has a lot of musical vocal ensembles. And I think the madrigals are like the real tight group.
The Delta Force singers.
Yes, yeah, and they have. I think they have the robes.
Period.
The period gear and whatnot. Gear. And that's under the direction
Under
of
Armour.
Norm Lydell. They're really terrific, and they're booked up.
So are we talking like a Gregorian chant, that type of?
I don't think it's.
But really
not
intricate
quite
singing,
got it.
I'm assuming. Lots of harmony
Yeah,
and things.
beautiful stuff.
Nice.
And Southwestern High School Choraleers and Panama Concert Choir rounding up the high school groups. So we had 2 last year. This year we're having 3.
Great.
We have Pearl City Jazz featuring Rasmussen. I think I said that right. Rasmussen. See,
You can tell
thank goodness for
he's
Bill.
only been here about 16 years. It takes you about 30 years to get everybody's last name. No, Raz has been around forever.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the posters with Raz, and it was just Raz, and I was like, okay, this
Everybody
guy's
knows
somebody. Cold Lazarus, which is a kind of a super group of sorts.
Marco.
Of guys that all performed with.
Marco's in
well, everybody performed with somebody else at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
So they'll be closing out the show, and we have a couple gentlemen here today that are going to be performing here. We have Mr. Doc Hamels.
That's me.
Will Russell.
Will Russell, Mark,
I've seen around. Will Russell's a doppelganger, actually, for my father-in-law,
Is he
Gary
really?
Peters. Yes.
Does he know this?
I think so.
I'll have to ask him about that.
I would see him. I would see Will around and look at the grocery store and be like, "Hey, oh no, you're not my father-in-law." And then Bill Ward is also
Ward.
performing, and friends. We
And
have
friends.
some special guests that are being announced. In fact, Bill just told me a couple other folks that were added to the program
Very cool.
this week. So, yeah, just about every type of music that you can hope for at the holidays. I just looked at the song list that's going into the program. A lot of favorites, a lot of traditional songs. You got some of the ones that you would hear at church services and masses too, and then you have some of my favorite. I mean, I love the golden age of Christmas music, but the originals, the new original songs that have been come out in the last like 10, 15 years, there's some tremendous stuff out there.
Okay,
I think Bill's familiar with these two because he's written
I'm going to
them.
give just a little tiny little piece here that we're doing. So last year, Will and I were working on a Christmas little program, and he hands me this music, and right on the second page is a footprint. Like somebody had stepped on it, and I'm looking around the words, and he's playing the song, and I'm trying to figure out the rhythm, and I couldn't figure it out. And so finally, I said, "Who did this?" And he said, "The Bare Naked Ladies." And so as he said that, and then it just changed the rhythm, and it fell together.
Okay, all right.
But what they're doing is, like you said, it's a traditional music with a new take.
Yes.
So that's one of the things we're going to be doing. So it's kind of a fun conversion. And then, well, I won't go on into it all, but this was the thing I was wondering. If you got all these groups, was there any group that was going to do the same song?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dennis Drew usually handles most of that stuff that's coming in, so I guess if he would have seen...
I mean the odds are sort of there that you might have, somebody,
Right.
10 groups doing Jingle Bells or something.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I saw any repeats.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. That's terrific.
My boss Kathleen was actually she was going through the program and she said she said some lyrics from one of the songs. She's like, "Does anybody recognize this song?" And I think it was that "Ding Dong Merrily and I." You know that tune, right? And I said, "Yeah, I think it's performed in England more than any other place, and it's more of a church kind of song." But yeah, it's something people recognize as soon as you start singing it.
Just the things that we're doing. 3 of them are from the British Isles, Celtic type of
Yep.
thing, and one's going to be an American song. But Bill's been sitting very patiently. So, Bill, what are you going to do there?
Patiently. It's easy to be patient. There's a lot of great information here. We, speaking of, I took the Bare Naked Ladies out water skiing one time.
Really? On Chautauqua Lake?
Yeah.
They look like a
Great fun.
they're just a riot to listen to.
And I wouldn't mind if people did the same song. As a matter of fact, I had this idea one time. We should talk about this. We take one song,
Right.
and we have like 12 artists
Do their own version
their
of
own
it.
version.
That's a
of it.
cool
That would
idea.
That would be a fun thing. They did that with Amazing Grace.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Like I said, it's nice to be here. It's easy to be patient when we're hearing about all this great stuff. I am really looking forward to connecting with these performers. I heard great things about the show last year, and it's just really an honor to be part of it. So I've asked some friends to come along. Adam McKillop will be there,
Adam's
as well
terrific.
as Teal Weatherly, who's going to be involved in some other parts of the show. Will be doing some of the stuff, a bit of my part of it, as well as John Cross, who is going to stop by.
Nice.
I think he only has, he's retired, so I think he only has 4 gigs that day.
Right.
He is the true musical mercenary.
There's no place too small.
Right. So we are going to do some of, you and I did a show some years ago that featured all my original Christmas songs.
That's
you
true.
and Amanda Barton and I did it,
was
and
great.
I think it's somewhere in the archives here.
It's on YouTube. It's on
So
YouTube
you
right
can
now.
find
Christmas
it.
in
Called
in
Christmas in Your Heart.
Right.
And I think if you'll give me a point of privilege, I will do that song later on
Oh, awesome,
tonight.
yeah, sure.
Today, this morning, whenever we are here.
We are all places at all times.
So yeah, we're gonna be there. It's gonna be really a lot of fun. I love Christmas. I have written a song every year for the last couple of decades, and so I have a Christmas album out called the Christmas Sessions. So what's cool about this show is that the folks that I've asked to perform are going to be doing my songs. So there's no danger, well, little danger, that people will be repeating my songs.
Bill, I will not be playing your material.
Not-
Although it did come up in discussion.
Yeah. Well, Steve Johnson, if I may have just a little point of privilege.
Go for it, go for
I
it,
have
go for
the Rolling Hills radio show, which you mentioned,
Right.
is such a fine component of the artistic community here, and they do feature a lot of national touring acts, and I can't wait to see it here. Be able to see it. We actually have a radio show over at Trinity Guitars, which
That's
features
right.
more regional performers. It's called Trinity Guitars Backroom Radio Hour. You can check it out on the Facebook page. Just go right there and click on it, and we'll fill your inbox with all kinds of useless
I believe
junk.
my business partner Will and Sarah perform. for
Yes,
you guys.
and we need to get you on the show.
We'd be
That
happy
would
to be there.
You
Just
and
let us
Will,
know.
That would be great.
Yeah.
You can only do my songs, but
Just send me the. Wouldn't be the first time.
just bash the microphone. Sorry, you guys, over in the booth. So the show that we get to do on the 9th will also serve as a preview to the December 14th Trinity Guitars Backroom Radio Hour Christmas Special, which is a tradition for us. We've been doing that for about 6 years. And we are going to have people like Teal Weatherly and Steve Davis and Steve Johnson from the Probables will be
Right.
there with Steel Rails. Those
Love
guys
Steel
are
Rails.
a lot of fun. Adam McKillop,
Great.
Cindy Love, John Cross is going to be there, and everybody there. I've asked, this is kind of a dream of mine, to do one of my songs as well as something that they're going to deliver. So everybody's going to have an interpretation of one of my original Christmas songs. It's a bit
Very-
narcissistic, I understand, but,
Yeah, but,
it's
you-
going to be a lot of fun.
You deserve that.
Well, thank
You've been in the business long enough and been around. I mean, your material's all top quality. So.
We do that show every second Thursday, just to finish that plug.
Yeah.
And speaking of Pulse Poetry, they are so much fun.
They were on the show here. I just sat over there in the corner, and they just blew me entirely away when they did some of their work. I mean, it's total drama, and it's just so
Right.
it just drills right into your soul. I mean, it was unreal.
They've been on our radio show at Trinity a couple of times, and they just kill it. I mean, it's, as you said, mouth open. Oh my gosh, these people are not only completely, absolutely tremendous artists, but
Yes.
they bear their soul.
Yeah.
And you get this just beautiful insight. So Christmas is going to be a great time for all of us, and I can't wait for the December 9th show where I get to hang out with all these just incredible performers, and we get to have some fun and really celebrate.
And the
this.
thing, I don't know if you think about this, Lynn, and all, but a lot of us guys, we're out there working, and we never see each other. You know, I mean,
It's true.
We like you said, you mentioned you played a venue last night. Well, I play that, but we're all like chasing around the county and that, and so it's like we're all kind of coming home together for the first time in a long, long time.
Yeah, I don't think about that too much, but I guess, some people might assume, oh, you guys all travel in packs and probably hang out and have songwriter circles and consult, but yeah.
Honestly, one of the reasons that I became a promoter, one of the main reasons is that dynamic of all of the great artists in this area. It's great to bring them together. It's great to bring people into town. As a matter of fact, on the the Trinity Guitars Backroom Radio Hour on January 11th, we're bringing IBMA 5-time Vocalist of the Year, Claire Lynch. We're breaking with a little bit of tradition and bringing a national artist, but she's a friend.
Sure.
I did the Mayville Bluegrass Festival for years, and she called me and really essentially needed a place to kind of stop by on her way to somewhere else. So that is our only ticketed event. Usually those are free. But Claire will be there in January. But the reason I became so interested in bringing folks together is because of that dynamic you mentioned. We don't get to see each other. We don't get to hang out. We don't get to play music together if we're not in the same band or doing the same show. Back years ago when the Rusty Nail existed, I used to pull together what we'd call a jamboree back then with all kinds of folks. We'd get like $2 at the door, and everybody'd go home with $7. But we'd all have a chance to, have a couple of beers and play music together and hear each other all day long. That was really the genesis of what my involvement with pulling people together, and that's why I do it. So I can hang out with folks like, all the people that are here. Len Berry is doing a really great job of this eclectic amalgamation of that sort of thing. And I can't say enough about how the Arts Council has helped with that. I can't say enough about how Jamestown has responded to that dynamic. If you look around at what's happening in Jamestown right now, there were folks, I know, there were some naysayers saying, you think comedy's going to win the world for you? Well, you know what? It is. It's a cornerstone to what's happening. It has ignited everything that we do, everything that you do at the Arts Council. These things, the Christmas, the Home for the Holidays, ignites this artistic flame that is already burning in Chautauqua County. I'm thrilled to be a part of the music community, the arts community in Chautauqua. I'm also really excited to be connected with folks like you who are interested in furthering that.
One thing, and then we're going to get you to play some music, is we talked about Rolling Hills, we talked about music, we talked about bringing people together, genres and that. I bought my Tom Paxton tickets for the Rolling Hills Radio in February. And I'm going to do one of his songs Saturday for the Christmas. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I mean, it's just like a full circle. I'm sitting here and going like, this is just really wild. I mean, everything we're talking about is just one big circle, so it's really, really cool. So what are you going to play for us?
Well, I mentioned that show that we did some time ago, which is available on YouTube. Just look for, I think, Christmas in Your Heart. And tag Bill Ward or
Access 5, whatever, it's out there.
This was sort of the theme song for that. This is a little preview to the show. I am going to tell you what it is. There is another song that I'm going to do that I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's not written yet. But
it'll be a surprise to all of us.
This is the song we sort of based that show on, and perhaps it's apropos of this moment in our history.
Oh boy.
If you ever watch the sunset in winter, or sat alone at night by the fire, if you ever held the hand of a loveless child, or listened to a midnight choir, if you always knew that somebody loved you, with silence and dark all around, if you have a little Christmas in every day, then you'll know the love that I found. 'Cause Christmas in your heart always happens. It happens when you trust an old friend. It happened long ago on that holy night, and every day it's Christmas again. If you ever told someone that you need her and love her to have and to hold, if you ever told the truth in the face of a lie, though it makes a friendship grow cold, If you always had that penchant for waiting, and the road ahead looks like an old friend, then pack it up and we'll ride the trail side by side. And when we're done we'll do it again. 'Cause Christmas in your heart really happens. It happens when you trust an old friend. It happened long ago on that holy night, and every day it's Christmas again. So if the monuments you build all come up empty, and you can't sing your song without a tear, we'll ask the Lord to lead us all to Bethlehem. Won't you wonder why we're still sitting here? All around the world folks are watching and wondering how it all just got away. But together we can ride, and the brightest star will find us all by the manger someday. 'Cause Christmas in your heart really happens. It happens when you trust an old friend. It happened long ago on that holy night. Every day it's Christmas again. Every day it's Christmas again.
Woo! Thanks, Bill. I'm sitting here and I go, I remember playing that song, but I was playing it on the bouzouki.
You were, yeah.
That was really a lot of fun. Bill sent me the CD, and I'm sitting at home trying to figure this thing out, and I go, I interpreted it the way I did. I guess it all worked out pretty well in the end, though.
I made a little mistake.
I never noticed.
No, not on that song. I did it perfectly. That song is actually not going to be included in the show. That will be included on the Trinity Guitars Backward Radio Hour. Steve Johnson is going to sing it. I'm very excited about it.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah. So you're going to leave us in suspense then for next Saturday. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think what we're going to do. We're going to post that Christmas show that we did on our Facebook page when we're done here, so people can check it out. And last time I looked, it was almost like 500 views. So I mean.
Yeah, that was Amanda Barton and you.
Yeah, the three of us. Yeah, and we were over at the church there in
Chautauqua. Church in Chautauqua. It was all decked out.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
You know, and this is, I don't know if you ever experienced this, but I've known Bill. I knew who Amanda was. We had never, ever played together. We didn't rehearse. I think we ran through the song really quick, and then...
Which is a weird dynamic for me, because I always like to get everything.
And so Chuck Kelsey setting up all the sound equipment, and he goes, "You guys ready?" Go, yeah, here we go. And it was really cool.
Worked out great.
It worked out really nice. I was very proud to be part of that as well. So we had some pictures that you sent. So Jeff, let's pop those up, and maybe Len can talk a little bit about these pictures, because they are some of the artists that are going to be on next week.
Yeah, up in the top left corner there, you see Marla Harris and Steve Davis from last year's performance there.
So he plays the piano, looks like. I'm guessing.
Yes, he plays the piano.
Okay, I'll look over this monitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Marla sings. And Steve sings too. In the top center there, that's Ron Auerbach.
Okay.
Broadway's Ron Auerbach. And now Jamestown's Broadway's Ron Auerbach. He's ours now.
He has a certain presence there, doesn't he? Wow.
He does, yeah. He was, he's a big dude. And he gets a lot of imposing roles. I will say that.
But he looks like he should have like a laser sword or something.
And when he tours Chicago, he does Mr. Cellophane. He gets that classic song in there. And then we have Doc Hamels and Will Russell there.
Okay. We were playing at the Wine Cellar for the local musician showcase for Infinity just this past September.
When you sent me that picture, I was like, oh, it's a Cellar. And then I was like, oh, it's Hamels and Russell. I know that corner well. That was the first.
A lot of those photos.
The first watering hole I ever went to in Jamestown. A lot of history there. Pearl City Jazz, bottom left corner there. A lot of musicians.
Now, are they all going to perform?
I think almost all of them are going to be there.
Holy logistics on stage.
We could talk about that too. That's kind of fun, getting everybody staged there. And on the right, bottom right there is Cold Lazarus.
Yeah, I know Marco, the drummer.
Yeah.
He's with no, he came out here because he was we were talking about up with Jamestown. I mean, they were doing a special promotional thing as far as getting people to
And I got to do a
think
shout
positive.
out for Gavin Paterniti, who's
Yes.
a bass player. He is a huge friend of the arts.
Yes.
in Chautauqua
He's got
County.
his regular column in the paper. Yeah,
does,
he's
and
covered it as well.
I would urge everyone to read that column. It's well written, it's insightful, it's intuitive, and he really has his finger on the pulse of local art.
And even though he plays bass, we still consider him, part of the group.
Yeah, but he knows
Bass
a
players
lot.
are like with banjo players. They're
I tell you, the area's been very fortunate because Gavin is the latest and greatest, I
my
think,
gosh.
of a long line of successive entertainment and arts writers for the PJ. And
I can't
God bless the
believe-
PJ for just keeping that going with that and always putting the right person in that position.
And that goes right back to what we were talking about. When you have a musician writing about musicians, it's totally different because he has the insight from the inside out instead of just looking at us when we're performing. It's a totally different world.
But it is amazing, and it is amazing that the folks that have preceded him, the Dustin Raiders, the
Nick Dean was in there briefly,
Dean.
yeah.
all very insightful and would get it.
Yes.
You don't have to really, there's a lot of stuff that you'd have to really, kind of draw out for reporters. It hasn't been the case in the past,
Yes.
I don't know, 10 or 15 years.
Dustin did a great job. I used to cover me and Bill Drello when we played Irish stuff. And you're absolutely right. They got it. They get it. And that's not something you can teach somebody. So, just as a reminder, folks, you're watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels, and Len Berry is here from the Reg, and Bill Ward, fellow musician, and we're going to be performing next week at Home for the Holidays over at the Reg. And if you have a question for these folks or myself or an announcement, give us a call at 753-5225. So back to you, Len. So we've talked a lot about the program next week. Bill, if you want to cue up another song, you can. Oh, we got a call, but hold on a second.
Go ahead.
If you want to cue up a song to take us out later, but we'll come back to you as far as what else is going on at the Reg. So good morning, caller.
Oh, good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Hey, Lynn.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning, Bill and Len.
So what do you think? What do you think? Pretty cool.
Oh, I don't want to hold up the song. I just love the music.
All right.
Yeah. So, how is everything going with you, Doc, and
Just fine.
with your guests?
We're in the we're covering the Reg and music and just the music scene here in Chautauqua County, which is just bursting.
Oh, it's an exciting time of year, isn't it?
That sure is. So, what's new at the office?
Well, we have our jobs. I'm advertising for positions. We're looking for people, especially in the healthcare field. It's a demand occupation. We still have our free computer training at the Westfield Patterson Library and at the Brockton Ahira Library. And people should call the office if they're interested and thinking about having a meaningful or interesting or just a job that they want to do something different. They should call our office.
There it is. We just saw another picture, which we weren't quite sure was related to the Office for the Aging. Lynn, when the number is 753-4471.
753-4471, or we are very active on Facebook.
Yes, you
Thank
are.
you to you.
It is nothing. Lynn, you mentioned you're looking for folks to work in the healthcare field. What are you looking for?
Well, it's a demand occupation all over the country, and especially in Chautauqua County, because we have such a high population of people over 60 and over 70. And it's a great field, especially if people want to go into the home care field.
Okay.
This keeps people out of facilities, and it's less expensive for them, and it's if they can be kept at home, it's a great thing to do for people.
So you're looking for people that would be employed as home care aides?
Anything RNs. I've got people that have come to me
okay.
that are RNs. I don't know if they're going to go back into the formal registered nursing field, but there's related positions like at assisted living places, like somebody who could be an activities aide or who wants to go into a different level of service to people.
Okay, so within that field. And what was I going to say on that? So they're interested, just give you a call at the office and...
In any position, because we like to pair people up according to their interests. And of course, I'm looking for a transport aide in Jamestown.
And transport aid would be riding the bus.
Right, to help people on and off the vehicle.
That's huge.
Assisting them with the wheelchair lifts.
Okay, super. All right. So you guys have any holiday events for seniors coming up or anything?
Well, I know that we're having the senior gift giving. That's really big. People are contributing to that, and thanks to Ed Schmidt at the Chautauqua Institution and the people that help him, he does this tremendous rally to gather donations and different things so that we can prepare bags to give to the seniors who are shut-ins especially.
Sure. That's huge.
Yes.
I don't think we realize that when folks get to a certain age and they can't get out, they really are isolated and their world shrinks. I've
Yes.
seen it more and more over the years now, and that's just so important to get people out there to do outreach and visit and check on each other. So that's a
Yes.
good thing.
Well, the Meals on Wheels program provides a wonderful service too.
Yeah.
Besides nutritional, also they check on people to see if they're all right,
That's great.
and they report situations that may need attention.
Okay. All right, well then, keep us posted on other events that are coming up, and we'll talk to you soon and say hello to your pooch in the background. You had his picture. You had your pooch's picture on Facebook the other day, I noticed.
Yes.
Now I have a face with the bark. Did you like that little? Oh, I did that. Yeah. Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay. Have a great weekend a week.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. A picture popped up inadvertently, but we haven't talked about it. So let's pop that picture up, Jeff, that you had there, because that was a cool picture, and I just saw it for a split second. There it is. So, Glenn, what is that?
That is a photo from the finale last year. So you have members of Porcelain Bus Drivers. You have Dennis Drew up there. Ron Auerbach is on stage there with the hat wailing away. I think he had a harmonica on there. So that's what we did there. And that's in front of the... Oh gosh, that's in front of the mid-stage curtain that we have, because we're talking about staging all these groups, because we have choirs who are going to be on risers, and we have the big band, and people who plug in, and people. Well, I think everyone's plugged in to a degree, but so how do you manage? There's probably going to be over 60 performers on the stage.
Yeah.
So we have that great mid-stage curtain. While that's up and you have a setup going, sometimes behind that we'll have like the risers set up because they can't move during a concert really. And then we have our main curtain that people will perform in front of in smaller ensembles. So we have basically 3 staging areas for everybody.
Now
And
I
it is
understand.
amazing how you as a musician through the years, you get used to that dynamic, that setup. You bring a rig that is really easy to plug in because you're doing yourself a favor. I know that at the Blue Heron Festival, they have these things called tweeners, where they usually have a smaller act that will play in front of the curtain while the other act is setting up. And I remember the first time that I think it was Amanda and me did a tweener, and we're playing our songs, and when the other band was ready, I felt this poke in my butt. Okay, I know my place.
So much for the hook.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask you a question. I can't. That's the big finale there.
Yes.
So how many people are you expecting? I mean, is this a big deal? I mean, like
If we
10, 15 people? What?
Yeah. If we
Wow.
get a number approaching last year, it'll be 500 or more.
500 people.
I mean, that's what we had last year.
Very
We'd
cool.
Love to have
So
that
let's
again.
break the record, huh?
Yeah, let's push it over 500. I mean, it's a very affordable show. We have $5 seats for students 18 and under. We have $10 seats for adults. Those are the starting prices.
Right.
We got a few premium seats up front, and then on the day of show at Ridge Lake Center for the Arts, 1 hour prior to performances, provided there are seats still available, we do have pay what you can pricing too.
Oh, that's
where
nice.
you could literally come in, you could put a penny in. Or a farthing, or a drekel. I don't know, a shekel. I don't know. You can put whatever you want in there.
Fee for the Hanukkah.
Hanukkah Katana.
And we reserve seating for that too. We don't want to turn people away. I mean, the Reg is the people's theater. It's the show place of Chautauqua County, and we want people. We want new people to come back. We want folks that saw their first movie there. Paid 25 cents to see a double feature to come back. It's there for the public.
Pretty close to that now, though, isn't it?
What's that?
Movies.
Price-wise?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's
$5.
great to see. I love going to the movies.
Yeah, we have $5 movies there.
It's beautiful, beautiful venue. So for the more expensive seats, what do they get for? Just up closer? And
I think this will, yeah, a little closer, probably first few rows and maybe the loge, which is the front part of the
Okay.
balcony
Okay.
area there.
So let's talk a little bit real quickly about some other things coming up. I know Bill's queued up another song, and because we're down to like 4 minutes. So.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the season we resume again in February with live shows. We'll have movies in January and Oscar-nominated films through February, March. But on February 15th, Thursday night, day after Valentine's, we are having a group called Diavolo performing their show Volo. And Diavolo was a contestant on America's Got Talent on NBC this past season. They're a dance troupe out of L.A.
Yeah.
And they're celebrating 25 years this year, and they do dance and choreography off of large architectural
yes,
objects.
I saw those big round things.
Yes.
Oh, that's the group. He's a French-speaking
Yes,
guy?
yep.
Oh,
He was
my.
one of-
They're coming to the Reg?
Yeah, they're coming to the Reg on February
They're fabulous.
15th. They're really great. They
wow.
yeah, it's kind of like a mix of extreme sports and dance with beautiful music.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I remember watching that.
And then we have a show called Dino Light in March.
Wait a
which is
minute.
a good
Bill,
family show.
I'm not going to be a tweener for that show at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
And then we have Circo Comedia. So the last half of the season is extremely
Sounds like a lot of fun.
family friendly.
Great.
So
Okay, so let's promote the show one more time, and then we're going to go to Bill.
yeah, Home for the Holidays 2, Christmas at the Reg, Saturday, December 9th at 4 p.m. You could get tickets at reglinnae.com or 716-484-7070.
Okay. And Bill, what you got for us? You gonna
This
take
is
us-
this is another song that will not be included in the show, but
Okay.
I may do it at the
the other one.
another
Yeah.
little plug, at the Wine
Plug
Cellar
away.
40th
Oh, wow.
anniversary.
Oh, my.
The 40th Wine Cellar reunion show is happening this year. We started doing that in 1977, Christmas night, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Everybody look at the baby. Everybody look at the king. Everybody dance by the light of the star and see what the future will bring. Come and hear the shout of the angels coming down from way up on high. Come and join the voices of all the invited who raise up the salvation cry. There's a new celebration that started long ago when they told us his greatness will reach the ends of the earth, and he will stand as a shepherd watching over his fold. Now it's time for rejoicing in the new Savior's birth. So everybody look at the baby, everybody look at the king. Everybody dance by the light of the star and see what the future will bring. Come and hear the shout of the angels coming down from way up on high. Come and join the voices of all the invited who raise up the salvation cry. So it's only a child, born to only a girl, but one look and you'll know he's gonna change the whole world. So everybody look at the baby, everybody look at the king. Everybody dance by the light of the star and see what the future will bring. Come and hear the shout of the angels coming down from way up on high. Come and join the voices of all the invited who raise up the salvation cry.
Thank you, Bill Ward. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Can't
Hey,
wait to be there.
Okay, folks. Well, that's a wrap. My guest today has been Len Berry, the Director of Communications and Marketing, Marketing Communications. Bill Ward, fellow musician and local What does that say? Eggnog made me do it. Okay. So anyways, stick around. We got another show coming up here next week. And have a nice weekend. And again, watch for the weather. You never know. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very
That was
much.
fun.
Great fun.